Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Last Minute Rundown. I'm Deviant Dario,
On Infinite One.
and today we're going to be talking about Batman versus Iron Man, about fucking time. And so this is going to be a weird one. It's not
10
even.
years of death. Oh,
That's right, 10 freaking years in 8 seasons? How many seasons? How'd that work? I don't even know anymore. Screw it, 10 freaking years. I cannot fucking believe it. We've been watching this show for that long.
if there's 10 years, how many seasons are there?
They didn't say it was 10 seasons, it was like a different number.
If you had to think about it.
5?
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, I don't. Where were we? So basically, it's Iron Man's best armor versus, assumably, Batman's best armor, minus the one that can take on the alternate reality Justice League. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, basically, the Hellbat armor versus, and what we think might be Iron Man's armor. What is it? What was it called?
Hellbat.
The Godbuster armor. So yeah, Hellbat
Godbuster.
versus Godbuster armor. Assumably, from what we saw from whatever advertisements Death Battle actually put out, 'cause, they put out a weird Iron Man armor with those cool gears on the side, and this is the closest one. And the alternative being Arno's, the brother's armor, but we know it's Tony, not Arno's, so we're excluding that. And
Yep.
that, and like I said, he's gonna go against Bruce's Hellbat armor, which is a freaking feat of his own. What we'll get to, but honestly, I want to get Iron Man's armor out of the way because it's probably the shortest and most vague. And yeah, so basically, this thing was built when Tony basically decided to go freaking Rick Sanchez and create his own little universe where he can just call the Escape, which is a virtual reality of just endless nothingness, information, whatever, and just and there's a point where he got trapped in it because the AI known as Motherboard that resides in it basically went rogue, kind of pulled MCU version of Ultron and really screwed with
It's his
Tony.
mother.
Let's not. Yeah, that's another thing. The motherboard was technically started by his father, Howard, and the AI, made the AI at least, and the AI was modeled after Tony's mom. Yeah,
Mother.
that weird shit. So he had to fight his
Good luck trying
mom
to
at
kill
one
that one.
point. Yeah, and so because of his mom, I guess he basically was trapped into alternate reality, a virtual reality developed by him, and decided to take full advantage of it, and was able to get his brain restraints open to a 100% full brain power, whatever, and came up with this God
Just keep in mind,
Buster armor.
hu- humans can only access about maybe
And
10% of their brain.
yeah, something like that at best. And he went just full on 100% and came up with the most unimaginable. Was how is it put? Allowed Tony. The escape allowed Tony's mind to become unfettered from the restraints of the human brain and the full power of his imagination unleashed, conceiving the Godbuster armor. Yeah, I don't think there's a better way to freaking put that. And that being said, we don't even know what else this thing could do. We've
They
seen very little, and it still has yet to show its true capabilities. And it's only been used once, and then
They literally
destroyed.
said he defeated motherboard with it. Tony, and then they said Tony, "Wow, this thing is too powerful. It needs to go away." And they technically destroyed it.
Yeah, and and I'm sure most of you are wondering like how he was able to conceive something like that and build it. Yeah, well, he was able to think of it in there, but the second he was brought back to normal reality, he had to borrow, I believe, a special high top of bleeding edge, as was put, 3D printers from I think his brother's company, and
I
basically
think so.
yeah, and basically conjured this wonderful piece of work in order to fight his mommy. Yes, took the Godbuster armor is to take on his mommy issues. I'm probably overselling that, but I just love that. That's just these comic books stories are just getting so ridiculous to the point. I feel like the Martha thing is not as ridiculous as we think. The more we go deeper into these freaking stories.
Bring up the extra point about it. Stark can also all of his other suits at a moment's notice,
Yeah, he literally
especially
has
with
the
it
Iron
orbiting
Legion.
Mars.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's not
He
even
has a
this.
suit that's he has a suit that orbits Mars, reaches Earth in a matter of minutes.
Yeah,
God
not.
willing, he beats it. It's I forget what it's called, but it's strong. It's fast and strong. But I forgot what its weakness was.
I think that was the God. Was it the God Killer? 'Cause I think there was two versions of it. I'm not sure. Give me a moment.
Oh, he's doing that. It was literally. Oh yeah. The only weapon it has on it are repulsor blasts. So but they say that its speed and power very well
More than makes up for the
makes up
lack
for
of
it.
yeah.
His other armors are his was it Model 30, 31, his regular Iron Man 3 and Endgame suits. We know too. We've all seen the movies, and if you haven't seen the movies, then
It's no secret
That's
that
your fault.
it's been 3 years,
And
and you had a
secondly, if you've
pandemic.
not
I
seen
don't want
them,
to hear it.
and if you've not seen the movies and you've made your way to this channel, what?
How?
You have gone through a rabbit hole someone did not prepare you for.
You fell asleep. You fell asleep watching your favorite video, and it somehow ended up here. That's my only explanation.
Yeah, I thought it was
You
the
know, like how
Thor
you
Buster, but that's another interesting one. He literally has
no,
ones not just designed to take on Hulk, but even to take on
it was
Thor.
it was in the number two in the you're watching now.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, it's
So
also a possibility he could bring back the Model 50 that he used to take out Lex
yeah,
Luthor. Oh,
Model
spoiler!
50
In a
symbiote.
previous Death Battle, Iron Man beats Lex Luthor. If you haven't watched, seriously.
That was like 4 years ago. Again, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you.
And he basically had
You're
a
you're, watch,
symbiote,
you're
a
watching
symbiote
Battle.
armor
Why are
that,
you?
yeah, I know it. It was a symbiote armor that even then had its own capabilities of branching itself out to be enlarged to rival the freaking Hulkbuster armor. So that alone already made it freaking dangerous, and it's alive. It literally is alive, and it obeys his will. And then you got
I'm sorry, it was Model 51 and 50. Okay, my bad. I think it was at least.
one second.
What else can we say about Iron Man while we waiting for him?
And
He has a lot of. Oh, it was
61.
Model 61.
Model
It's
61
Mars.
just chilling right on Mars, or around Mars, because God, let's see, what is this thing capable of again? Oh yeah, it's powered by 8 nuclear reactors, just to power that alone, and only let's see, it's going too fast. Give me a second.
However, its speed and strength make up pretty basic when it comes to weapons.
So it's powered by 8 nuclear
Powered by 80
freaking
nuclear
reactors,
this suit
just to
is pretty
keep it
basic when it
going.
comes to
Only
weapons,
uses
only using repulsor blasts.
the
However,
repulsor
its speed and
blast,
strength
but
make
like
up
you
for it
said,
being able
the
to travel
speed
to
and
Earth,
strength
Mars,
it
in a matter of
freaking
minutes,
possesses
and
is
able to lift
insane.
what
Can travel from here to Mars within minutes, and can lift a celestial
when the
being
Dark
off the
Celestials
freaking
came to
ground.
attack Earth in 2018,
And it was basically his go-to suit in the to go up against the Dark Celestials in the 2018 Avengers comic.
Number 5, Tony felt it was finally time and deployed this behemoth of a
And with
machine, allowing him to hold his
um,
own against the Dark Celestials.
Batman's Hellbat suit being forged by Superman, Wonder Woman, the members of the Avengers, that might come in handy later on. But we'll get to that more when we get to Batman.
Yeah, Batman's suit is very interesting.
Reanimated by the
Which, by me saying, I don't know if there's really much more over Tony other than
Yeah, and that was just on a different armor, which we're assuming he might use. And let's see, let's go back to the one that we know he's gonna go. Ah,
millionaire philanthropist.
So, what do
His
we know
current stuff.
about? So, what do we know about the Model 63? Very freaking little, other than it was powerful enough to take on AI God. Enough said.
Speaking of AI, all of Tony's like Friday, Happy, etc., etc.
Yeah, and again, it's really unknown how to. It has a scale that's past the freaking bar. Like it does not know. No one knew how to freaking scale this thing. Who's it? That said it when That's right. Ironheart tried to scan the Iron Man suit, this specific one, and said we're off the scale. So we just don't know what this thing can do. But as far as we know, this is what they're going to bring. I know this has been a vague and weird video, but we're trying. We don't know what these things are capable of. So I'm curious to see what
And to
Death
be
Battle's
fair,
gonna say because we couldn't find Jack. Even
To
then,
be
I
fair, we
was
did
trying.
it.
Yeah, we did it late, but I was really looking on this information, and unless I actually had the comic itself, I didn't really have the time to get to it. But my God, the Godbuster is just unknownly powerful. That's all we know. All right, I guess we gotta accept that, and hopefully Death Battle gives us a better insight. Anyway, let's move on to the one that we do know about, the freaking Hellbat armor. And this thing was made for fucking war. And not just any war, but fucking apocalypse war. This thing was basically made for Batman, God forbid. Basically, since we know Batman is human and can only do so much, and has done so much in his with his normal suits, the Justice League thought it was time to give him an upgrade so he can be able to help him take on more celestial based problems.
Threats.
Yeah. Thus, the construction of the freaking Hellbat armor. Now, each one of the Justice League members had a part into construction into this. Cannot speak. Each one of the members of the Justice League helped in contributing to the construction of this masterpiece. So right off the bat, the husk was forged in the sun. But the armor was designed by Batman and built by himself and the Justice League. Mentioned previously how Justice forged it. Superman basically forged it with a tusk in a sun, and the thing was made out of nanoparticle mesh, which can be shifted and changed on voice command. So that alone shows that this thing is already more than capable of being a problem for, say, the symbiote armor that Iron Man uses. Because those said freaking nanoparticle mesh could probably even fight the other nanoparticles and probably win, even though it's technically symbiote. They're still equally powerful, and they literally do the same thing. And what else? Oh yeah, and also it gives them increased strength, increased speed, increased durability, and that's thanks to Superman and Wonder Man's capabilities. The wings.
Wonder Woman.
Thank you, Wonder Woman. And the wings on this thing were created by Green Lantern's power, which was made using the same nanoparticle mesh. So even more of that freaking craziness to create this thing. Flash worked on the suit to be able to handle the Speed Force to add to it, so it could be able to sustain that type of energy. So basically, this thing can handle the Speed Force's crazy energy, no matter what. And Cyborg gave it a little bit of his crazy mother box tech into it with whatever he can conjure. Mostly more of the same nano kinetic mesh and basically higher power energy blast coming from the bat chest. So basically, Batman has his own Iron Man propulsor chest blast. So keep that in mind. We might see a wave struggle
A
of
beam
that.
clash.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman added some of her own powers, and those were kind of vague as well. So basically, a lot of ancient god shit. Who knows? Maybe he can make it turn invisible, or if you touch, or if you grab someone and they have to tell the truth.
And let's not forget the most important contribution, Woman, who
Yeah.
presumably give it marine powers.
What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. Maybe he can talk to fish
He
with
can
it.
now he can now summon piranhas. That's it.
Batman can summon piranhas. You know what? That's scary enough. All right.
Anywho,
And just like the freaking Godbuster armor, I think it was only used once officially.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has been used as skins for fucking everything because it is the coolest fucking armor. But
Wasn't it said he used his armor and like knocked Darkseid on his ass?
oh yeah, granted, Darkseid was able to get back and wreck him, but Darkseid wasn't expecting to get his ass handed to him at first to begin with. Also, his son got his ass handed to him real quick too.
True.
But yeah, Darkseid definitely eventually was able to damage it a bit, but only so much just for the situation to correct itself. Oh yeah, and then Lois Lane got to use it for a bit, but well, yeah.
So basically, the Hellbat is just very durable armor.
Very durable.
Um,
Oh, and I almost forgot a very important feature of it. This thing might as well have its own freaking vampiric effect on the user because it does
right.
damage its metabolism upon usage because of all the crazy enchantments and ridiculousness on it that make it usable and even somewhat survivable to be used.
So depending on how long he's in the suit for, could depend on how long the fight goes on.
Yeah. And this is a suit that is more than capable of taking on new gods, specifically. I mean, granted, I don't know, it probably wouldn't work well against Superman, but then again, there's a whole nother new suit specifically for him, so that's understandable. But being basically the ultimate war suit to take on literal celestial gods. And I guess that's really it. Pretty straightforward armors. It's literally just whose armor's better, Batman's super armor or Iron Man's super armor. And considering there's still more they should really add to it, it's gonna be a weird battle. Probably a vague one, and like I really see a few people probably getting triggered by regardless what the result's gonna be.
Oh no!
I mean that's gonna happen regardless. What am I saying? But you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I can only think of like the one thing that Tony does have over Batman is he can summon the suits to fight Batman all at once.
Yeah, that's really it, and that's probably what he's going to do. He's probably going to have the Iron Legion with him just to be able to somewhat keep up with Batman's super armor.
And I know some of them. I know not all of them, but some of his suits are EMP proof. Even if Batman had EMP on him,
Yeah, that thing can survive. That thing could probably survive a few nukes to the face if given, because his augmented armor, which is almost not as strong as the Hellbat armor, that one literally did take a nuke to the face. So at least in comparison of durability and I guess threshold at this point, the Hellbat armor is in its own right a God Killer. So we got God Killer against God Buster. So let's go. I really don't know what else to add to it. Like I said, this was a very vague and straightforward one. At the same time, we tried to add to it, but there was just very little to work with. I apologize. But we're going to still make this video happen, whether it's a bunch of nonsense or not. That's what we're here for. And we'd like to thank you guys for joining us. I'm Deviant Dario.
I'm Infinite One.
And see you at the death battle.
And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go rogue, and I'm gonna say Batman.
I say Batman too. I honestly think he could probably take him.
All right, so either we both start off great for the season, or we start off horrible. We'll see.
It's a one-sided coin. And someone betted on the other coin. All right, peace.